So today we're going to be taking a look at a topic, conductive education. This is a somewhat less well-known topic in the world of physical therapy, and we'd like to just share some insight with you today.
So during the show today, we're going to give a little brief history about what exactly is conductive education, and we're going to talk to a conductor herself to give us more insight about the program, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the research currently out there weighing the pros and cons of the program. So hang tight, we'll be back in a little bit.
So this theory was developed by Dr. Andres Pato in the 1940s in Budapest, Hungary. His theory included the facts that people with disabilities, he characterized them as having disintegrated function, and he theorized that through active learning and problem solving, these children could overcome the disintegrated function and turn it into coordinated function through an indirect cognitive route, which will be discussed later on further. Again, just the basis for this theory was active learning, problem solving to overcome the deficits created through these disabilities. Now joining us is Becca from the Conductive Learning Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and she's going to give us a little bit more insight regarding conductive education.
So conductive education is it's a teaching method. So we're combining PT, OT, speech, special education, all in one for these children to come. They'll come for 3 to 6 hours a day, 1 to 5 days a week over our sessions and the different semesters that we provide for these students. And the big part of this is that we're all doing it in a group. So we're doing physical activities and we're combining them with cognitive tasks so that they're thinking and they're learning and they're watching people in their groups how they solve problems. Problem solving is huge in conductive education, figuring out how to overcome their physical disabilities to be more independent. And watching their peers and doing this intense program is really our goal, is to make these children as functional as possible through problem solving and the therapy that they receive through us.
Great. What type of pathologies do you see when you're working in the learning center? Like what type of?
We see a lot of children with cerebral palsy. We see children who have had traumatic brain injuries, and we also see children with spina bifida. But newer, we're actually starting to see adults come post-stroke.
Okay, great. For those of you interested in becoming conductors to teach the conductive education classes, there's 2 ways you can do it. First off, in the Aquinas College in Grand Rapids, Michigan, they have a 5-year program where you get certified to teach the classes. So that'd be kind of if you're coming out of high school and want to get right into the profession. Versus if you are already a PT and you want to get continuing education credits, you can do at the Governors State University in Illinois, where they have a 1-year program where you get certified to do it there. If not in America, you can go overseas to other countries such as Austria, Hungary, Germany, the UK, and Israel are some options. So a lot of places all over the world that can offer the continuing conductive education courses. Okay, Joe, being the good PTs that we are, we both searched the research looking for the efficacy of conductive education in treatment for children. And a lot of the research talks about the functional improvements children experience. They did like a baseline measure versus the end of the program measure and saw significant improvements in their motor output. We'll have those those articles cited at the end of our video. But probably the most important article that I want to point out was by Dowlin et al. And they compared 3 separate treatment programs, and they saw that each program saw improvements in motor skill, but perhaps what made the conductive education the best was that they showed the most improvement in social skills, which is something that you've talked about and Becca talked about before, about the main point of the program is to improve social skills. So there's definitely a lot of positives with this treatment program.
And with that being said, some of the negative aspects of conductive education, as we mentioned, there's only certain locations where it's possible. So the constant traveling these families have to go through, and they're relocating, finding places to stay. And we said how the treatment sessions can be 3 to 6 hours long. That's just not possible to recreate at home. Everybody's tired, and it's a lot of intensive therapy. So the good does come with the bad there.
That'll do it for us here at PT Express. For Joe, I am Joe, and we'll see you next week.